This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Today is August the 25th, Monday, and back to school day for most kids in Iowa. So glad you could join us here today. Coming up a little later on our program, we'll talk with the folks at agmarket.net to run down those closing numbers. But first, we're going to talk with Joe Roberts. He's the incoming president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. We caught up with him at Iowa Corn Day at the Iowa State Fair. He talks about the importance of that event and what he's hoping to do in his tenure at the helm of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Talking with Joe Roberts. He's the incoming president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. In 2 weeks, he'll be taking over that position. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to visit with us today on Iowa Corn Day.
Yeah, thanks for having me out. I'm looking forward to meeting all the people here that are going to join us on Iowa Corn Day at the fair. It's a no better time to introduce all the great things that we're doing with Iowa Corn in front of all the great Iowans and people from out of state that are even going to join us here today.
And we talked with Stu about some of the activities you got going on, and obviously that is at the heart of what the Corn Promotion Board does, is informing the consumers, especially those who are not involved with agriculture, as to how corn really helps this economy thrive and what it does for us.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at all the great things that Iowa corn farmers are doing, we're talking market development, we're talking research and new uses, and we're talking education. So when we invite people out here, we're going to really highlight some of the education pieces. We're going to teach them all the everyday uses that corn products are going into. But one of the great things that we can actually showcase is we've got the scavenger hunter out in the fair. One of the cutouts is actually a hamburger. So when you think about that, we've got meat exports. We've got corn grain and DDGs that are going into those food products. And we actually have the opportunity to export some of those products internationally as well. So being able to relate that to what you're seeing here, but then also understanding that we've got products that are going to get shipped overseas and just help create more market growth, market demand, and just really help our corn industry thrive.
You know, we talked with Stu about the importance of making sure that we're getting that information out there. How does the Iowa Corn Promotion Board really go about doing that so those producers understand what their investments are going for?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, we've got, if you're a member here, we've got our weekly insider, or our weekly newsletter. So we're going to send that out via email. It's going to tell you all the great things that we're doing in Iowa corn. We've got different articles in different newspapers, different farm stories, just really sharing the message out there in all different forms. We're standing right here in front of people today, talking face to face. We'll do a lot of podcasts. We'll do different things like that to help share the good work that Iowa Corn is doing. And hopefully it's reaching all those consumers, all those farmers out there, and everybody that might not know something about corn. We hope that they really take something away when we reach out to them and actually help them maybe learn a little more, and then maybe they can share that message on with the next individual that they meet, which is just huge. The impact that we have to be able to take our message and how far that goes out beyond is just incredible to witness.
You know, we got the first estimates this week from USDA. Numbers look good, which is a good thing to have, a good problem to have. But when you compare that to the market prices and the trade situation, obviously we're not going to get into policy on that. But how important is it to get that message out about Iowa corn to the consumers, to the farmers, across not only the state, but across the nation?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, we really want to help drive demand. We want to continue to have that market growth, those new market opportunities also. So anytime that we can help showcase what we're doing here in Iowa, to help relate that message, whether that goes to international buyers overseas, whether that goes to people here domestically that are really looking to help help grow that demand and try to make sure that we're doing things the right way, educating them about corn as a great use of a feedstock, a great use in the ethanol industry. I mean, there's all these different avenues, and we can even talk new uses avenues about what's on the horizon. But when we start looking at that, hopefully all the every opportunities that we're taking here within Iowa Corn and on the promotion board, that we really help try to leverage those checkoff dollars to help grow market demand and market development, whether that be, like I mentioned, in the new uses spectrum, whether that be in market development, or whether that also be in the education, just to be forward facing and really help understand and share our message about all the good things that we're doing and relay that to people that might not know currently.
So again, as part of the leadership of the Iowa Corn Board, promotion board rather. You obviously know there's a lot of irons in the fire right now with that organization. Getting ready to take over the reins in 2 weeks. What are you really excited about going forward here?
I mean, I think that one of the things that I'm really excited about, I'm young, I've got a lot of energy, I've got a lot of great ideas. I really hope that as we work forward here in the next year, that I can build on some of the great foundation that was left behind me with the leaders that we've had within this organization. Definitely stepping into a place where I feel very comfortable, very encouraged to go out here and continue to build on the future, or build towards the future based on what we've already been doing. So.
All right, Joe Roberts, the incoming president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board, has been our guest here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. Joe, if people want to find out more about what the work you're doing is, where do they do that?
Yeah, we've got iowacorn.org is a great source to be able to go to there. You'll see all the different highlights. We've got tabs for farmers. We've got tabs for consumers. If you want to learn a little bit about what we're doing, that's a great resource.
All right, thank you so much, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you for having me.
That again was Joe Roberts of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. We're going to take a short break and hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, we'll run down the closing markets. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. We're back on Ag Matters PM, and it's time now to talk with Sam Trainor of agmarket.net and find out what happened in those markets today. Sam, start with the grains. What did we see?
Had a little bit of a mixed bag today. Soybeans brought things down today, finishing about 10 to 11 cents lower. However, the corn market and wheat market were both supportive here. So continuing to see some strength in the corn market following last week's Pro Farmer Crop Tour yield estimates. Those came in at 182.7 compared to the 188.8 that the USDA is putting out there for a national corn yield. That's about a 3% reduction from the USDA number, which is not totally out of bounds here. Usually Pro Farmer is a little bit below that USDA final number, but starting to hear more and more that the corn crop is not out there as much as what we may have thought even just a month ago.
And it's interesting because, they talked about a lot of disease pressure they found, which in the Western Corn Belt, there's been a lot more wetness and stuff. Illinois, I know the numbers you guys got weren't great either, but there was also talking about dryness east of you guys in Indiana and Ohio. I mean, the markets really haven't reacted any way to that really crazy. I mean, has it been something that the markets were kind of just expecting and took in stride?
I think we put that low in, or at least the low that is still standing here today, a few weeks ago, back at the beginning of August. And I think that as more and more reports come out, that more solidifies that maybe, I'm not here to say that we for sure put a low in, but it's certainly starting to feel that way as the market gains some momentum here and gets it back above some moving averages. We got right up against that 50-day moving average today, so that'll be the next target to get through that and close above it. But I think you look at the conditions, like you mentioned here, a lot of disease. I know you guys have had plenty over there in Iowa with the wetness that you've had, but we're seeing a lot of it here as well. Tar spot, southern rust. There's a lot of tip back in this crop, and I think as more and more boots on the ground in the field, we're starting to realize that a little bit more.
All right, moving over to the livestock side of things, Sam, what do we see in those cattle and hogs to start the week?
We saw a pullback here today, which was expected. Did have a report of screwworm out yesterday, so to be honest with you, Dustin, would have thought that we would have had a much more aggressive sell-off today, only finishing down about $1. Feels like a win in my book here on the fats. We had cattle on feed report on Friday, which continued to be supportive, so I think that helped things out a little bit as well. But like I said, cattle down about $1, and the feeders were down about 75 cents in the front month contract. Hogs did have a better day today. They were up about 37 cents here in the front month. So kind of a mixed bag there as well. But I think maybe we avoided catastrophe there in the cattle markets for now anyway.
Well, that's certainly good news. So if folks want to learn more about what the results are from agmarket.net, what kind of intel you guys have got, or talk about some market strategies, what's the best way for them to get into contact with all of you?
Yeah, absolutely. Best way would be to visit our website at agmarket.net, or you could give us a phone call at 1-800-779-1515.
All right, Sam Trainor has been our guest, and we'll be hearing from you at the Farm Progress Show coming up tomorrow with Mark. So look forward to hearing again from you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Hopefully we have some nice weather like what we've been having here. This is a nice change of pace.
Thanks again to the folks at agmarket.net for our market analysis. Let's go ahead and take a look at the closing numbers here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network markets. At the close, September corn up a penny at $3.89 1/4. Soybeans down 11 cents at $10.25 1/2. Soybean meal down $1 at $2.9570 per ton. Soy oil 53 cents lower at $54.31. Chicago wheat is up 2 cents at $5.06 3/4. Kansas winter wheat down 1 1/4 at $4.96 3/4. Kansas spring wheat down 12 at $5.25 even. Minneapolis spring wheat unchanged at 5 3/4. Oats for September down 6 1/4 at $3.12 even. On the Merc live cattle down $1.05 at $236.82. Feeders down 77 cents at $361.90. Lean hogs were up 20 cents at $91.40. Pork cutouts unchanged at $102.22. And Class 3 milk was up 16 cents at $18.43. That was a check of our closing market recap, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all our content at iowaagnet.com, as well as on Facebook, X, and our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time we put out a new video project. Also, don't forget about the Free Market Podcast coming free of charge to your device 3 times a day. You can find all of our podcasts online at Google, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IRN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Hoffman. For Andy Peterson, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.